Yes, yes, yes. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Comic Artist Pro Secrets.
Hello.
Welcome. Well, hi, Nasser. Comic Artist Pro Secrets. This is COMICSGATE Live, more or less the morning show, even though it's like the afternoon. I went to sleep last night at like 4:30 in the morning. I rolled out of bed at 9 and was kind of like dun, 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 beginning my day, and hung out upstairs with the girls, and then I fell asleep again. Of course I did. Andrea said, she's like, you didn't get any sleep. I was like, well, who knows? Maybe this is all I needed. Passed out again. I mean, I'm. It's a waking nightmare, Nasser. It's just all I do is like draw and sleep. Don't get enough sleep. Wake up and then go back to sleep. And just there's just too much going on. There's too much going on.
Ethan, I think you won at life.
Why?
Um,
I don't think you're right. All right,
really?
so look, yeah, Martina Marcata should be here. But see, I'm already an hour and a half late. I was like, yeah, we'll probably do it sometime around noon. And I wake up, and to my horror, she has written, hey, I might be a little late, like at 11:30. So 2 hours ago, she wrote, I might be a little late. Okay, is it okay if I'm 2 hours late? I mean, my God. Nasser, say something to make me feel better. You can't, can you?
I don't know. I really don't know. I think I suck at making people feel better.
Bootsy says, save time, UVS, by not washing your hands or brushing your teeth. Now, that has been, I don't know if that's a shortcut to life or not. I'm not exactly sure, but it seems to work for Doug. Anyway, yes, indeed. I stayed up all night talking to the artist of Dave Sims' new project, which is called The Strange Death of, I don't know. Let me look it up real quick. I forgot the guy's name. Strange Death. The Strange. I'm all discombobulated.
Hey, Ethan, I got a question for you.
What?
Ian Miller wants to come back on here and play guitar again. Is that cool if I send him the link?
Yeah, absolutely. The Strange Death of Alex Raymond. The Strange Death of Alex Raymond. This is a book that Dave Sim has been working on for quite some time with an artist. Dave Sim's kind of his hand gave out. He's unable to draw in the way that he used to draw. I know it is an odd title, but it's supposed to be this massive book that IDW is going to publish for Dave Sim. The Dave can't draw anymore, like I was saying, so he got this this artist, younger dude. He's 37 years old, and I don't know. There's this whole Dave Sim. First of all, here's the thing. Well, hello, Critias. How are you?
How you doing, guys? Am I right?
Good. Yeah, good to
I
see
think I
you.
got some good news for you that might make your day.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Overnight, my campaign jumped up $2,000.
Well, that's what happens.
Awesome.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, it is.
Congratulations.
I appreciate it.
Okay, so Strange Death of Alex Raymond. So Dave Sim is writing Cyberfrogs 2 through 4. He's agreed to do it. His fans alternate between being, kind of supportive and outraged that he might associate with COMICSGATE. And so his artist on The Strange Death was like, I heard, he sent me an email. He said, I heard that you wanted all SJWs fired. And I was like, you know what? Let's get on the phone. Let's talk about this. So I had a great conversation with him that must have lasted 3 hours. I mean, it was it 3 hours? Couldn't have been 3 hours, but we were talking for a long time. It was really nice. And I explained to him that when I say that I want all SJWs fired, I mean into the sun by a trebuchet. I don't necessarily mean each individual. I don't point to people and say that person should be fired because they're an SJW. I just mean that in general, in a larger sense. Yeah, if you're a company that's in business to make money, you should first, you should never hire an SJW, and second, you should fire the ones that you have because they are an impediment to you making money. In fact, they will cost you money in the long run. So he understood and agreed, and we did have a nice kind of conversation that lasted until 4:30 in the morning while I was drawing rocks. How much time do we spend drawing rocks? So much time. Drawing rocks and catfish. That's what I'm doing right now. Rocks and catfish.
You should hire Monday Matt to finish that work for you.
Just get in there and start drawing boulders for me. Yeah, I think that would be a good idea. So anyway, if Martina Marcata shows up to promote Lady Alchemy, this chat is here in her honor. The link in the description is for her comic Lady Alchemy, her Indiegogo campaign. And I'm going to put everybody else's in here as well. Lady Alchemy graphic novel. It's at $5,506 right now. She's looking to make $8,000. And that is, eminently doable. Oh, she's up to 5563 now. The magic of COMICSGATE. Let me put Critias in there as well.
I appreciate it.
All of you fellas. So Critias, what do you think happened? You woke up and you suddenly.
Yeah, I woke up and I was like, let me go check how the campaign is doing, and I was like, oh my goodness, COMICSGATE is amazing. The support from the chat, from the people in the chat, everybody in our community is just amazing what they can do.
Yeah, there are good people here. I just broke $90,000 on Cyberfrog.
Nice.
Let me see. I want to put that up here too. We're getting close to the $100,000 mark. Back Cyberfrog here. By the way, I started to do something with the, some people are complaining about the long form live streams. I figured out how to edit them down and clip them out. So I'm going to actually put up, miniature clip outs from the live streams. I suppose I'll still keep the extended live stream up there, but for people who just want the best parts, like Doug talking about not brushing his teeth, or Mike S. Miller letting his wife ballroom dance with another man, or when we examined last night was a good one for Doug. Last night we examined Doug's painting of his wife. Now, if you were to do a painting of your wife, nice oil painting of your wife, like you would expect it to look a certain way. Like you would expect her to be positioned a certain way in the painting, looking towards you, eyes bright, smiling, an idealized version of what what you think your wife looks like. Well, Doug's painting of his wife is unlike anything I've ever seen. Like I would never, I have taken pictures of my own wife kind of looking like that, and it quite accidentally. It's like if I had to choose photo reference, it wouldn't have been a photo like that. Chris Abrams, $1.99 says, take out all of the Nasser parts. That should be great. Yeah, we can edit. We can do.
I can't argue with that.
A complete Nasser edit. Not a bad idea. So I'm going to start doing that, and I think that should make people. I don't know. It will make the show a little bit more.
Excuse me. How would you paint your wife if you had a chance to do it?
Oh, well, okay. So if I were to paint Andrea, well, first of all, I mean, her best feature, her eyes. I mean, she's got beautiful eyes. So I would, she wouldn't be wearing sunglasses. She would be looking at me, okay, like the camera, in other words. Right. She'd be smiling, and it would look like she was really happy to see me. I wouldn't paint her. And by the way, I would have a nice background that was all, I don't know, where would I put Andrea in terms of a background? I think I would put her in a park, or is that really her? Let me think. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think I would. I think I would put her in a kind of garden setting. You'd want to paint flowers and things like that. I mean, you'd want to have color, a nice splash of color behind her. And then, yeah, I might put a pie in the background as well, because she's made me a pie. That would be great. I wouldn't, I mean, did you see? Well, I'll clip it out, and I'll save it for like a surprise. If you can't wait and you really want to see it, I mean, you can go to Doug TeNaples' Twitter page, and he posted it yesterday on Twitter. And I when I saw it, I just said, do you mind if we talk about this? And he said, no, we can talk about it. It was, yeah, it was pretty funny, I thought. All right, okay, so everything's up there. Detective Dead, Cyberfrog, Lady Alchemy, yeah. Is there another book that I should put up? Probably not right now, not unless somebody else comes in. Mark C says, for the love of all that's holy, please no Doug today. I'm good for a while. Okay. Doug, a little Doug goes a long way in terms of this chat. I'm surprised by that, but that does seem to be the case. People are kind of like, "That's enough, Doug." Luke Sears, listen to your long uploads all the time. Keep it up. Yeah. No, she's not. Thank you, Luke. The cheat says she's made a pie. No, she's made a pie for me. She's made a pie. Welcome to the chat, Art T Bear. How are you, Art?
I'm good. Good morning, guys. Man, we had a blast last night, did we not?
Yeah, it was
I
nice.
think so.
Hello, Art.
Hey, guys. Good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, I don't think you have to worry about Doug Tenaple coming in here. He just did like a super long live stream with
Nurkish.
Yeah, with Nurkish and Michael
Nelson, I think.
Mike Nelson from Mystery Science Theater. I have to admit, I am a little jealous of that. I'm a little jealous of that. I would like to do a live stream with Michael J. Nelson. I just don't want to do it with Doug or Nurkish. You know, I mean, that's the problem. Heather C says Doug is insufferable. Uriah Wright says his wife looks pissed off. Yeah, you know, spoiler alert. I mean, the painting is really extraordinary. She has a frown on her face. She's turned away from Doug. Her arms are crossed, and she's wearing sunglasses. It is a portrait of irritability. Like, she's irritated at Doug. And so many people who saw the painting, I think, feel the same way. Like, they could imagine themselves in that same pose, having known Doug for any length of time whatsoever.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was gonna say something. It needs a caption in the bottom that says, "I don't want to do this."
That's kind of what it was like. It was like, yeah, you got to paint me. All right, well, so that is that's fine. That's fine.
I have a name for the painting. It should just be the aloof woman.
The aloof. Well, I would call it "Tired of Your Shit."
I was trying to be nice, but yeah.
I think that's more like it. Damien X247 says, "Would you do an art tutorial on armor for comics?" You know, it's funny that you say that, because I did do one. I did one for Wizard Magazine way back in 2005. It must have been a 2 or 3 page kind of tutorial on how to draw different armored villains, particularly. I don't know why they asked me to do that, but I did do it. Somebody dug it out and found it, and it was funny. I don't know. I actually did a pretty good job. I don't think I taught anyone anything, but it was a pretty good tutorial. All right, so here she is. Here's Martina Marcotta. Martina.
Hi. How's it going, guys?
Hello.
I know you probably just see me on the internet all the time, but it's Martina Marcotta.
Marcotta. My mistake.
No.
Martina Marcotta. Welcome to COMICSGATE Live. This
Thanks.
one is actually devoted to you and your project, Lady Alchemy. These guys are already doing great.
Amazing.
Yeah,
Thank you for having me.
Well, it's of course Art Bear, who has a book called Black and White. By the way, for the chat, there's 615 people watching right now. More will come in. All of these books are in the description, so if you drop the description down, you will be able to back any of these projects that you want. Wow, everyone in the chat is very happy to see Martina. You know what? You guys don't normally say things like this when Doug Tenaple joins us, or Cecil, for that matter.
Everybody's going to be on their best behavior today.
Oh, I don't think
that's so nice to hear. You know, I feel like it's been a really, really rough ride for me, and this is like the first time that I'm getting like a lot of support, and I'm just like waiting for the comments to be like, I don't know, something negative. That's just what I'm so used to. So it's just so strange. That's why it's funny when you were like tagging me in some of this stuff, when people were attacking, like, you guys hate women, you don't have women. It's like, I've gotten nothing but like, oh, dude, this is awesome. Thanks. Like, we need more women. This is so great. Like, oh, like, I can't believe you're doing this. So
the chat is saying, finally, someone who isn't third world ugly.
Is that a Doug reference?
I think it's everyone. I think that would sum up everyone in COMICSGATE.
Half of the chat says marry me.
Oh, yeah. All right. So tech support says it's about time the sausage fest ended. Well, you know, we have women in here sometimes. You know.
yeah, I watch it. You guys have some people.
when we were confronted about our lack of females in COMICSGATE, I think I made a short list, and then other people added to the list, and Martina was on the list. I think, Martina, do you identify as COMICSGATE?
I mean, I do. Obviously, I haven't. This is my first project that I've been working on, so I'm not just like, I haven't been doing this a while, but I've been following what's going on. I mean, I was a performer in New York City. I did burlesque and all that stuff. So they found out that I was a Trump supporter and that I was conservative, and I lost my career. They absolutely ruined me. They tried everything they could to destroy me and attack me. And I've always wanted to do a comic because as Lady Alchemy, my burlesque character, I always thought I played this like superhero character. I'm a nerd in real life and I wear glasses, and then I'm Lady Alchemy and I get to like wear costumes and do all this stuff, wear spandex and all that stuff. And so when I found out what was going on with you guys, it totally resonated. I was like, yeah, this is really what happened to me. And I just feel like people in the political scene, because I got into like some of the punditry and, that's kind of where I got forced to work since I got like kicked out of the arts. And I just feel like a lot of people didn't really take it seriously because it's the arts. So I'm a burlesque dancer. So when, I found out what's going on with COMICSGATE, I was like, oh my God, like you guys kind of get it. You see how serious it is. It's not just comics, it's your livelihood. This is what you do. This is your passion. And it kind of kills me to not be able to be Lady Alchemy anymore. And now I can.
Well, Martina, first of all, I'm going to interview you here. Okay. So here's, and this is going to be this is a very deep interview. Everybody would like to know some questions. First of all, from burlesque to punditry. Now that's quite a leap. How did that happen? And who did you know? And first of all, where are you at Rebel Media? Is that correct?
I'm at Rebel now. I did a little bit in DC with the Daily Caller. That was my first job into it. And now I'm with Rebel. So
who did you know at the Daily Caller? How did this happen? I'm astounded by this.
I mean, I didn't really know anyone. I went to what was it? The CPAC. I went to CPAC one year, and
there it is.
I met a bunch of people, and I was just trying to pitch my story out to be like, "Hey, this happened to me. They ruined my life." I wanted to like make some sort of wave happen with what happened to me, something good. And no one really picked up on it, except I got a call from the caller. It was like, do you want to do videos with us? I was like, all right, yeah, here we go. Let's do it.
All right, wait a second. So let's backtrack now. Let's talk about, first of all, how did they find out that you were a Trump supporter? When you're working burlesque, where are you working? Are you in New York City? Are you
yes,
in?
I'm New York City based, yeah. And I was working at a really big theater. I don't want to name names. I don't want to get anyone in trouble and get a lawsuit after me. But you could find it once you look at my Instagram or where I worked and what I've done. You know where I worked, and it's this crazy. I mean, celebrities go there. I have pictures with like James Franco and like all sorts of people. Like it's a who's who kind of wild nightlife in New York City. So I worked at this club, this theater, full time, and then I had an agent, and she would book me for a lot of like private events like Google Holiday Party. I mean, I worked for Xerox. They spent like $2 million on a party, and they would have entertainment. I mean, if you think of the most extravagant parties in New York City, like they want entertainment, they want beauty, they want, glamour. So I was hired. And
that's why I'm usually there. It's true.
Yeah. And no comment. I don't know. You guys know how like 2016 was. It was just, it's painful. You can barely kind of think of how it went. It just, I wanted to express myself, but I didn't do it through Lady Alchemy. I didn't do it through my arts. My arts was just strictly alchemy, beautiful, uniting the truth with the beautiful, because that's what I like. And I think that's what you guys are fighting for too, is venerating like beauty and aesthetics with stuff. And the left love to, destroy that and make things ugly, or, how they do it. So I was just making beautiful things. And I just saw all the anti-Trump artwork performances and like all this stuff going on, and just the craziness that they were saying, the extreme left. You have to understand, in New York City, in the arts and the performing, like how extreme lefties these were. These weren't just like regular Democrats. These were like insane SJW feminist types. And I just never really believed in any of that ideology. You know, I was raised first generation American. So I have like American pride, you know, old world European mother.
Shame on you to have American pride. Shame on you.
I know. I mean, my mom left communism and war, you know, so it was like.
And here you are, right back in the middle of it. So they found out you were a Trump supporter, and they said, you know what, the hell with you. We must purge you. Now, this is, I mean, of course, this is a familiar story. This happened to me. This happened to many of my friends. You know, being a Trump supporter in the creative arts is anathema. I mean, they cannot tolerate it. They don't understand.
Yeah, I mean, I was surprised because I thought that everyone knew me. They knew I was a nice person and I respected everyone. And I thought they would go, oh, wow, you're a Trump supporter. Maybe we should rethink what we think of Trump supporters. But they did the opposite. They went, oh, wait a minute, you're a Trump supporter. That means we have to hate you. That means you're a terrible person. So.
Well, they're right.
Yeah, based on one single thing, even after they know you, one single decision that you make, and then, you know, they turn on you. And it's just, you were just voting your conscience like they did 4 years earlier or whatever it was,
yeah,
you know,
exactly.
like, what the heck?
And I mean, so I decided to, you know, I was 30 years old, and I was like, I see all this anti-Trump stuff going on, and I was pretty quiet about everything. It wasn't like secret or hiding. I mean, a lot of my friends that were like drag queens or gays, like they knew that I was a conservative. They knew, and they would like laugh about it. But so I wasn't like hidden by any means, but I wasn't like as outspoken as they were about their politics. So I just felt like I needed to, you know, express myself somehow. And I said, well, wait a minute, my whole identity is Lady Alchemy. Maybe I could take my real name, Martina Markota, and do something with that, because a lot of people didn't know my real name. I don't know a lot of the other performers' real names. It's you know, this, you know, like the superhero duality that we have. Like they don't know our real names. Like everyone called me Lady Alchemy. So I decided to use Martina and use my family name to, you know, be involved. I went on Gavin McInnes' show. I like wrote a blog. I did some stuff that way. And when they found out about that, and they all started passing around my blog and passing around the interviews that I was doing, that's how they decided to dox me. They doxed Lady Alchemy by saying she's Martina Markota. Look at, she's a Nazi, you know. So they basically doxed who Lady Alchemy was.
Wow.
Well, that's a familiar story. Again, I mean, it's amazing. You know, when it's happening to you, you feel like you're the only one that it's happening to. And when it happened to me, it was a dark and cold feeling. You know, people that I called friends, and just like you, I mean, it's just like everyone knew I was a Republican, but suddenly I became a Nazi overnight. And, you know, everyone turns their back on you. It's icy cold. And then while you're sitting there, you know, speaking to people as though they're rational and saying, why can't everyone behave themselves? You're hearing things like, everyone's very upset right now. You know, it's like, you have to understand. Everyone's very upset.
Yeah.
You have to understand and tolerate this and stop celebrating this, because this is a very serious thing.
Yep.
Crazy, absolute craziness has swept this country.
The theater was really weird about having me after the election where I worked, because it was already outed and people were pretty, you know, my director and the producers were like, you know, oh, you know, we know that this issue is going on with the politics, but like they were like, we do a lot of wild stuff. We have people that pee on American flags. We do a lot of like crazy stuff. So who are we to judge? But then when Trump won, it was like, we can't have her back in here.
Wow.
And I called and I was like, you know, what's the deal? Like, yeah, I'm a little nervous. And they're like, well, yeah, you know, you have to understand exactly what you said. It's a really sensitive time. And I was like, you know, I'm excited and nothing bad's going to happen. Like,
yeah, like we weren't allowed to celebrate our ecstatic joy. And by the way, you know, being out of the comic book industry now and into our own little comic book industry, I do feel the way that I felt on November 9th all over again. I feel so happy. Every day I wake up and I'm just like, you know, Trump is my president. He's going to be president until I'm 44 years old. He's going to be president until I'm 50 years old. That seems like a long time from now. Trump is going to be president. And then, look, I survived 8 years. I survived 8 years. We all did. We survived 8 years of Obama.
Yep.
They can survive 16 years of Trump and Pence. I know they can. 16 years. President Trump, President Pence, the Supreme Court is going to be 100% conservative. I'm sorry, I don't think there's enough kale in existence to keep Ruth Bader Ginsburg alive for 16 years. We are going to have utter domination and control of this country, and we have to turn things around. And what we're hearing right now, what we're feeling right now, is the toxic reaction to that. We have let light in, and the vampires are screeching. We are priests, all of us, walking in on the ironically named Reagan from Exorcist with our crosses, and we are going to get pea soup spit in our faces, Martina.
Yeah, I hope so. But I mean, that's kind of
No, you don't hope so. You don't want pea soup in your face.
No, not that part. I'm just saying that we are going to, reign and take over. And it was happening, but, and that's why they're trying so hard to like censor. And I mean, I still have stalkers. Like, it's been how long since the election? It's what, 2.5 years or something?
No, it just seems like it. It's been 1.5 years. We're coming up on 2 years now.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know, but it's still long enough where it's like, okay, you've ruined my career. I don't perform in the theater anymore. You got my agent to drop me. Every booking that I got on my own, you made, tantrums about to the venues or the producers to make sure that they drop me. You ruined every opportunity that I had. So I don't perform anymore. I don't even live in the city anymore. In fact, what they did was they knew I was, my fiance is from England. And so they tried to ruin that opportunity, and they put in false FBI tip saying that he's a terrorist trying to come into the country, which is why I'm here in a different time zone. I'm from New York. So, they've really, really tried to ruin my life, and I'm not even in the country because of it. I don't perform anymore. And there's still, I have like a demon over my shoulder. Like constantly they're looking at what I'm doing, every opportunity I'm doing, they're trying to ruin it still. And it's like, what do you want? You guys want me dead? Like, I don't perform anymore. You won. Like, go away. So, I mean, this comic book is a way for me to bring Lady Alchemy back to life. And I mean, I can assure you with the campaign that I'm doing, they're looking at it and they're pissed off. And this is the one industry where we're actually winning. They're kicking our ass with social media and, deplatforming, demonetizing, they're ruining our careers. But comics, we're winning. We're kicking ass. So they're probably
how could we not win? First of all, we have a soft target. They suck. Their books are terrible right now. I mean, the way comics are going, and they're only getting worse. People don't want to read. People do not want to pay to read social justice pamphlets. I keep trying to explain this to them, and they keep saying, what do you mean? You just watch the sales decrease. Right now, we are 2 weeks away from the fiscal year end of 2018 for Disney. Disney is going to have to respond. They're going to have to answer to their shareholders for what's going on at Marvel Comics right now. And you will see changes. You're already seeing some very pathetic statements, some very pathetic things happening in comics as this date approaches. Now, in the meantime, Martina, we are 30,000 feet above them. We have ascended above them on the wings of angels. And we look down upon them. Do we spit? Maybe. But we're so far above this right now. Our campaigns, our comics, our fans are loyal. They're enjoying themselves. They're having a good time. And all they can do right now is look up at us like the monkeys in 2001: A Space Odyssey and curse us. Yep. Like they're cursing the sun. That is what COMICSGATE is. They're up there. They're shaking their little fists at the sun. There's nothing we can do for them. There's nothing we can do for them. They are a cursed, pitiful group of people who are doomed.
What will make them hurt is to have us have ultimate success and just have fun and love for what we do, and to try to bring that back. Like you guys were saying, I mean, it's been pretty bad for the last couple of years. So I'm all about let's have some fun again. Let's bring some fun back to comics. Let's celebrate this thing. Yeah,
totally.
Slapper,
and
dude.
They're getting really angry the more that we're winning and we have fun and we overcome. They try to destroy it, and then they made us more powerful. And it's like,
Well,
They're shaking their fists, like you said, like, how come we didn't destroy them?
Oh,
The little
over
monkey
there,
people.
the Washington Post came after us yesterday. It was
I saw
hilarious.
Yeah, I saw that.
I mean, that guy. Did you see what he looks like, Martina? Did you see what that guy looks like? Oh my god, dude! I was, and I said, "Hey, my Chicago 8 looking friend," and then he called me an anti-Semite. I was like, "What? Anti-Semite? I just meant that you were a filthy hippie terrorist. That's all I meant." Lady Alchemy, the graphic novel. By the way, those of you in the chat, Martina here is trying to get to $8,000. That's her flexible goal. We're going to get her way past that. Way past that. Right now, she's at $5,908, raised by 144 backers. She's only interfaced with 144 people right now, and really she has not met the full breadth of COMICSGATE. That's you guys. 990 people are watching right now. The link is in the description. I'm going to let Martina take the mic and basically just tell you all about what this comic book is, and you guys decide if you want to back it and support it and make this thing happen, become a reality.
Awesome.
What is it about?
Thank you. Well, I mean, like I was saying, that we want to bring back beauty. I mean, when I was growing up in the 90s, I really liked as a kid. And this is what's so funny when they tried to attack you guys about She-Ra or whatever, that you're trying to sexualize these young cartoons and that they're meant for young girls. Well, when I was a young girl, I really liked like Witchblade and Gen 13 and, Fathom, like the sexy, beautiful women with curves and, the right curves, with muscles, and they were just beautiful and stunning. And I aspired to be like that. So that's the kind of thing that I've always liked, and I want to bring that back. But, my artist and the person that part of my team that's helping me write, they're out in LA, they're in Hollywood. So they're kind of in hiding as well. But I have some like really fantastic people that are doing really big things. I mean, someone that's helping me write this is, he's done movies. He writes for movies that I'm sure you guys have all seen, really big things, but he's got to remain quiet. So it's going to have a really good storyline. I have a really amazing team. The artist also works in LA. And as you can see, I mean, his inspirations are like Patrick Nagel, really fine art type stuff. So, I mean, our thing is all about aesthetic. I mean, Lady Alchemy, that's what I did. I made costumes and was all about beauty. So everything's just gonna be really beautiful, really feminine, but I'm also Lady Alchemy. So there's a lot of like esoteric themes in there. There's gonna be, I use my alchemical powers and summoning archangels and things and the elements that I'm able to control through my alchemy powers. And it's really interesting. It's kind of like if you guys have seen the movie They Live, where, I'm from New York City, and there's like all the advertisements and all the propaganda that they put out there. You can see inside. I don't know how to work this thing, so I can't really show you guys myself. But if you go through my campaign, you'll see where I'm walking through the subway.
Hold on, I'll do it right now.
The advertisements come to life. There's the Marina Abramovic one that turns into this demonic creature. There's one with an apple. There's like the Apple, iPhone Apple. And let's go down there. These are some of the covers. Yes, so this.
Oh my God!
Apple, it has like a serpent on it, so that's like some symbolism there. And then the one with the camera says "Give in, plug in." It turns into this technological kind of creature, demon. And as you see, they're all like women too. So there's going to be this play on. I mean, it's not overtly political. I know you guys don't really care to put that in your comics, but it's not going to be like, hey, Trump kind of comic book stuff. But it's overtly, like the demons that I'm facing, they are like feminist type creatures that are influencing people through all this propaganda and the advertisements. And that's kind of what the city brings is, brainwashing people that way. And those are the demons I have to face. And then there's like the advertising executive. That's
why I left New York.
Echelon that's behind it.
That's the reason I left New York, because of that. I seen that New York was going down the political hole, and I had to leave it.
Yeah, I mean, I love it. If you go upstate a little bit, it's definitely more. It's not like that, and that's what pisses me off about the whole state. I'm not sure how Jersey is, but New York is all red. It's just New York City that has like hippies and artists that come from like Ohio or like, you know, inner city, you know, I don't know, like they're the ones that are blue and they're the ones that turn the state blue, but it sucks because the rest of the state is pretty red and it's awesome. And when you go upstate, and that's kind of another dynamic with the comic book is that, you know, there's that city that has all that propaganda. It's the vibration and the, you know, all the advertisements and everything. It just sucks you into this like mind control zombie like state. And that's the kind of stuff that I'm facing and fighting. But I have this secret getaway, which is upstate. And when you go into the nature, it has a different vibration, and that's where you're able to you know, the brainwashing, you can deconstruct that, you can get rid of that brainwashing and become more in tune with nature and the world and escape that brainwashing. So that's why I'm able to kind of fight that brainwashing. A lot of people in the city don't have that access to get away into the nature,
Get away into the Catskills, you know.
Yeah.
Get away into, yeah, I lived up there for a little while. Why am I echoing?
Sorry, I hope we don't hear.
It's gotta be. That can't be Martina. Martina knows better than that. But do you have headphones on or anything?
I don't, but I can put them on if it's really bothering you.
Okay. Well, it's all
Should
right.
I do that?
Hey, can I ask a question, Martina? So, you know, there's so many mediums, right? Like to write, you know, it could be anything. What made you choose comic?
Well, I mean, I've wanted to do this like about 8 years ago. I got to dig up this guy's name, but I met him when I was performing as Lady Alchemy, and he did comics. And I don't know, like I said, I always liked, you know, the Fathom and the Gen 13 and all that stuff. So I grew up and I kind of became that.
Right.
Like I became the way that they look, and I turned into, I had an alter ego and all that stuff. So I always saw myself as like this comic book thing. And then I talked to this guy that did comic books, and he would draw a lot of like famous people and stuff and turn them into comics. And I talked to him about it, and he's like, oh, well, you know, you'd need like $10,000 for funding, you know, to do this. And I'm just like, I don't have $10,000 to make a fucking comic book. Are you kidding me? So it never really happened. But you know, and then now since just like COMICSGATE and what happened to me, what happened to you guys, and how successful things are happening, it's all coming together, and it's the right time and place
Right.
to do it. But I mean, I don't know, it's, you know, I liked the girl ones. I always saw myself as one with Lady Alchemy, and I bumped into this artist a few years ago from LA, and it all came together. That was like, this is what we're doing now. And you know, he does a lot of that stuff in LA, storyboarding and a lot of boring drawing stuff. So this opportunity for him to be able to draw something that's like beautiful. He loves Patrick Nagel and like, you know, all this stuff and beauty and girls that like look like me. So it just kind of all fit to come together. This is something that he can be passionate about and really get excited as an artist to work on. It's something that I can like bring back Lady Alchemy for. It's something that I've always wanted to do. And it's the right climate for it now.
Well, if
Martina,
you need, I was just going to volunteer my services. If you need like a bonus cover or something like that,
Oh,
just hit me
cool.
up. I would
Thank you.
gladly. I worked on Fathom. I did the trading
No
card,
way.
a lot of the trading card set and stuff. Yeah.
Oh my God, that's awesome. Yeah. See,
So-
when I was younger, I had the long, you know, and I know you guys hate it when we make the like comics like into ourselves, but you can't blame me as a woman. Like, of course I'm going to want to relate physically to the girls. But you know, when I was younger, I had really long brown hair. And so I always liked Witchblade. I thought that was like me, but now I'm a little bit more like Fathom. I got the black hair going and the light eyes. So
I can
Fathom
see
is
it.
super sexy. Love her.
I can see it.
Fantastic. So Lady Alchemy is now at $6,164. Listen, we're less than $2,000 away from meeting the flexible goal, getting this book funded. You guys can do that. I'll bet you can get that done today.
You guys
So
should check out the video too. It's really cool. We worked on that video really well.
yeah, go to the once you're there. I mean, press play, watch that little video. I think that'll be good. Let me read some of these super chats, Martina. I hope you don't mind.
Sure.
Break All Day says, eat a pie. That will make you feel better. I think that's referring to me not getting enough sleep. Chris Abrams, take out all of Nasser's parts. That should be great. I will. I'm going to edit Nasser completely out of all of my videos, and that should be an improvement, at least for most people. Steve Dye, Chris Abrams is correct. Cut Nasser. Nasser, do you mind if I cut you out of everything we've ever done together?
I don't mind.
Okay, thank you, Mark.
Feed the people what they
For the
want.
love of all that's holy, please know Doug today. I'm good for a while. So Nasser and Doug, people find them controversial. A little bit of both of them go a long way. Luke Sears, listen to your long uploads. Keep or all the time. Keep it up. All right, I will. Yanni Huel, title 20 years of marriage. That's the title of Doug's painting with his wife. T Bear, just fact, Asgard 237 is going to Germany. James Trammell, Nasser, behave yourself. He is. He's been good this whole time. Tech support. It's about time the sausage fest ended. Cosmethiandric. Hello, Ethan. Coming from the Netherlands. What's your opinion about manga and the non-existent problem of diversity in it? Well, manga. Yeah, manga still looks sexy. They haven't really changed anything to meet the needs and demands of the audience, of the SJW audience that does not purchase it. And I think that's smart. I think it's smart to not listen to people who do not buy your product. Yeah, there doesn't seem to be any diversity in manga either. And I don't know. It seems to be, it's kicking our asses. That's all I can say.
That's what I was going to say. They still want to make money.
Yeah. Jesus A. Sabalas Jr., perfect timing with Art's super grinning avatar popping up on the screen as soon as Martina finished saying she did burlesque. LOL. T-Bear and Lady Alchemy, he says with a little winky face. Fanfiction Productions, let them purge her. COMICSGATE will take her. That's
See?
right.
So nice. You guys have been the nicest ever.
And you guys are kind of making this happen. It looks like Lady Alchemy will probably get funded. She's at 6370. She's probably going to get funded by the end of the stream. So good job, guys. All right. Let's see. Ask the woman if she has any tips for poor Nasser, says GR people. Like beauty tips for Nasser. Nasser, could you show yourself to Martina?
No, I look
Could
terrible.
you turn your camera on? You're a young man, Nasser. He's 21 years old, Martina, and you know he's,
my hair isn't even brushed. I look like an idiot.
Your hair is never brushed, and you don't look like an idiot, Nasser.
Well, that would be tip
Don't
number
be
one.
shy.
Brush your
Don't
hair.
be shy.
Okay,
Be
that
shy,
is her
Nasser.
tip. That is her tip.
I think they meant tips with the ladies because everybody in the chat for the last month has been trying to find me a girlfriend.
Right.
Aw, that's nice.
All right. Well, Martina, do you have a tip for a 21-year-old shy kid who kind of says the wrong thing all the time, but he's
I don't say the wrong
incredibly
thing.
forward? Well, yeah, no, not all the time, just most of the time. He's incredibly forward. He is a guy who gets it done. Would you have any tips for him in terms of the ladies?
Well, I mean, he's incredibly shy, but he's forward, so he's not shy with the ladies. He just says the wrong things. Is that am I getting that right?
Well, I've never seen him interact with a real
'Cause
girl before, so I
If he's
don't know.
shy, I would say don't be so shy. I mean, you just got to keep going. There's a million girls out there, so just keep plugging away and saying hey. Go out of your way. That was my thing. I always was wondering when is some decent guy gonna come and say, hey, what are you doing sitting here eating alone or something? It never happened. So, I had to go out of my way to find a young guy myself. But I would say go out of your way and say, hey, what's up? What are you doing? What are you reading?
Yeah, Martina. What Martina is saying, Nasser, is that basically the beautiful women are too shy to approach you, and there are millions of girls out there for you to bother, and you should bother all of them.
Yes.
Why not?
Eventually, one will I don't know, relent and say, yeah, you can take me to the movies. I mean, it's got to happen. It happens for most people, Nasser, and stick to it. Stick with it. Teresa the kid says, my bro won't talk to me or my kids because I voted for Donald J. Trump. Yeah, well, that is a thing. We have family issues about that too. Thanksgiving was fun. My niece is lesbian, and she and her girlfriend came over for Thanksgiving dinner, furious with us. Don't you care about us? Why did you vote against us? I was just like, well,
Yes, you voted directly against her. That was the whole thing.
I was like, I've been bearing a grudge for a long time, and this is my chance to finally get even with you by pulling the lever for Donald J. Trump. Kaz5166, thanks, Obama. Mendelson, thanks for the $5 donation. Azure Hydra, Pi Burlesque at 50K. Classy Americana, sexy goth queen.
That's right. I started this thing on Twitter. It's goth right. So
What's
they
goth
call me the
right?
goth queen.
So like right wing gothic.
Yeah, gothic right wing.
Yeah, that's a cool thing. That's like me. I'm not too far from that.
Nice.
Gothic.
Ethan's got eyeliner on right now, or guy liner.
You know, you joke, but like I still have like 8. My ear is like punctured 8 times. I was a goth kid when I was 18, 19, 20 years old. I mean, I was there.
Cool.
And
I feel like I'm more refined now. So people like expect me to look like some sort of like hot topic goth. I'm like, no. Like it's refined. I look like a high fashion, classy goth queen, no hot topic.
Yeah. It's like art in a way. Art. Would you describe yourself as high fashion, sexy goth queen or no?
That sounds awesome. Totally. Yeah, that's me.
Then
I thought he was talking to me. Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Definitely. Yeah. My hair's all done, and I got the pale skin and the eyeliner or guy liner. I'm all in black right now.
You were probably like that at one point, Art. I believe it.
Yeah.
I believe it.
There you go.
Let's see. Tyler Preston. So harassing, stalking, doxing, and destroying a woman's life for wrongthink is acceptable, but COMICSGATE is considered a hate movement. Headache.
Yep.
Yeah, that's...
We don't hate anybody except for NASA, right?
No, we don't hate Nasser either.
Well, also I noticed these people are like the first ones to bring up like, these people were like pulling things out of their vagina as like performance art, doing all sorts of like nasty, disgusting like things. And I didn't do any of that, but they're the first ones to bring up like my burlesque. Like I had a hit piece, like Salon did a hit piece on me, and they were making it seem like I'm some sort of like degenerate stripper whore. And it's like, I thought you guys were like pro women. You guys are the most like, and these girls that are after me, these feminists, they're the first ones to put stuff out there and be like, she's like a stripper. And it's like, aren't you guys like the feminists defending women and stuff? And now you're trying to like degrade what I do? Okay.
Well, it's because they're on the right side of history, because then they can judge you and condemn you because they're on the right side.
I don't think they even believe any of the stuff that they're about. It's
of course not.
So somebody has an idea. Chris W says, how about a photo cover perk?
Huh.
So that would
of
be
me?
No, not of you.
Oh, damn.
Photo of what?
A photo cover. So in other words, you dress up like your character, and then they used to do that in the 90s.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Like I'll do a cosplay of myself. Yeah, I have a ton of stuff. If you also go to my like Instagram, you can see like my entire career of 10 years dressing up as Lady Alchemy. It's Lady_Alchemy. But I should do some exclusively for the comic book and really just play into that character more and more and more, since like I don't perform anymore really. I would love to have a chance to make another costume and get out there and do
you could be the next Elvira. That could be like your alter ego, and do shows and signings as that character.
Yeah, and like the alchemy stuff's really cool too, because it has that element of some goth without it being like kitsch. It's like, no, we could really talk about esoteric stuff, and
Jesus A. Sabalas Jr. says, could you put in a tier to get 2 copies? And that's not a bad idea. Some people are going to want to buy your comic in bulk, and you should give them an opportunity to do that.
What was that?
So put a tier in your campaign so that somebody can buy 2 copies and maybe knock $5 off or something like that. I didn't even look.
Okay, that's a good idea. Thank you.
Also, they save shipping. We've been calling ours like the buddy tier. So that's the way we're marketing and selling the black and white one. So they can save money. So usually they're discounted, right, Ethan? Like maybe $5 if they buy 2. And then they save on the shipping as well.
Yeah, we could, this is your first campaign. I'm sure there'll be a second one for issue 2. So you'll learn something. You're going to learn from this. Let's see. Fresher Luke. Hey, Uncle E. Is my graphic novel Indiegogo about a cowgirl in a bikini worthy of COMICSGATE? It's called Bikini Cowboy. See, that was a switcheroo, Fresher Luke. I thought it was a cowgirl in a bikini, but it's Bikini Cowboy. Now I don't know how to answer you. Yes, it is. Yeah, it's Tim Doyle. It's the story of Tim Doyle. Cars in Depth. Has anyone ever done a comic about the Golem of Prague? I don't know. Kirby Carpenter backed Black and White today. That's great.
Oh, thank you. Oh, can I get a quick plug? We're 8-7, so we're only, what is that, 1,000, like 12 away from being fully funded, and I think we
Nice.
have an hour. So if we can do this in an hour, then we'll be fully funded in one day. So that's
Damn,
pretty
dude,
cool.
you're at $9,030 right now.
Oh, 9,000, cool.
You just
Yeah.
Awesome.
9,000. Detective Dead Crimson Moon by our buddy Critias is also up. He's part of the rotation now. You're going to see a lot from Critias. He's at $4,340 right now. Check out that awesome comic.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, and my variant cover for Cyberfrog Blood Honey is at $90,213. So
Wow.
thank you guys for that.
Congratulations. That's so cool.
Yeah.
It's the variant cover. It's the variant cover for the book. Right now, the total is at 630,000, about that right now. It's for the first issue.
Wow.
So it's pretty good. They don't like it, Martina. They're not happy, the SJWs, about
Well,
that.
for what it's worth,
Yeah.
Ethan, I'm very happy for you.
I know. I'm telling you, my haters in the burlesque they're probably watching this. They're probably paying attention to the Indiegogo, being like, this bitch.
Well, you're at 6,900 right now. 86% of your flexible goal. This is happening pretty quick. So thanks, everyone. Lady Alchemy is in the description. Get your copy of Lady Alchemy. Are these autographed?
Yeah, actually, so what I have here as well, this poster that's $50, this limited edition silkscreen. The thing is, like, I love silkscreen. I have a brother that does it, and it's a piece of artwork itself. So there are going to be 50 of them, and silkscreen has like you can like feel the ink, like all the layers on it and everything. It's a piece of artwork, and they're kind of expensive to make themselves. It's kind of my least margin that I have, but we really wanted something really cool and some piece of artwork. But yeah, there's 50 of them. The limited edition. They're going to be signed, numbered, the whole deal. But yeah, I have a bunch of people asking me to like sign it, and yeah,
you need to sign them. Yeah. And part of the thing about COMICSGATE is that we don't really have a convention yet. Like, there's no outlet for people to meet us, and people do want to meet us to get their comics signed. So we just sign everything in advance, and it's going to be a big pain because you're going to sell 10,000 copies of this. But they do like to get them signed, and that's a nice kind of bonus.
I mean, I've sold merch before, and something that I know people got really excited about, and it's expense out of shipping, but I would get really cool like black packaging and all this like tissue paper and stickers and a bunch of really fun stuff in it. So my biggest comment when they got my shirt shippings were like, I really like the shipping and the containers in the box. Like, people felt like it was a present that they get in the mail. It's just really exciting for them to get something in the mail that's not a bill, and it just looks really cool, and they have a lot of fun with it. So
it's true. All right, so you just broke 7,000. You're at whoa. Wow,
Dang.
this is happening real quick. All right, $7,021. Thank you to everyone in the chat who is contributing to this, who's making this happen. You guys are the best. We have to remember that I mean, the customers, this is what separates COMICSGATE from the mainstream, is we don't call you names around here. We're just like, hey, thanks. Thank you. Appreciate you. We wouldn't be able to do this without you.
That's true. That is so true.
So, hey, let's hear a little bit more about this comic book for people who are just coming in. 1,122 people watching now. Martina, can you go through the description of the book again?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I can also, I guess they can read it themselves, but basically it's based off of me, and it's a burlesque dancer in New York City, and I have an alter ego, my burlesque alter ego, which is Lady Alchemy, and it's in the city, so it's in all that grime and the cement city, and advertisements everywhere you look. When you go in the subway, you're outside, everywhere you go, you're just bombarded with all sorts of propaganda, which turns people into like brainwashed zombies, feminist brainwashed zombies, SJW types. And, I have to I have an escape, which is upstate in the Hudson Valley, and I get that resonate different vibrations, which deprograms you from all of that stuff. So I'm able to see beyond all these like propagandas, and I'm able to fight it off and see where the actual source is coming from, because there's a motive, there's an agenda there that's even bigger than the actual advertisements.
Do you think you're going to do an issue number 2? Are you going to do an issue number 2 after this one is funded?
Yeah, probably. That's what me and my partner, the artist, we've been talking about. So I mean, it's most likely going to lend itself. There's just so much that we want to, share, and stories that we want to tell, that and you know what they say, what the SJWs are always saying, that like, oh, comic books always reflect, real life and this and that. And it's like, yeah, but they're doing it kind of with a particular agenda. I don't think like I'm having an agenda with it, but it is going to be reflecting of what's going on, in a entertaining kind of way. Like I am Lady Alchemy. I do have like esoteric knowledge and alchemical knowledge. And then it's come to life through this comic book by like extravagant measures. As you can see in the photos, it's like, this alchemy, it's usually in your head, the visions and all these colors and the pentagrams and this and that. But in the comic book, you're able to see it. And it's really exciting to see all that come to life. And it's the same with all the demons that we're dealing with in the world, in society. They're there, but it's not as exciting or as fun. We get to make it really fun in the comic book,
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. All right. Let's see. So, Martina, how do you feel about adding another perk that combines the silk screen with other things, as Yaku say?
Yeah, I'm going to write all that stuff down as notes. So just stay tuned. I mean, I have like 2 more months to keep this thing open. So I will take everything everyone's saying and put that into action. So let me write that down. Wait, silk screen plus another perk, right? Silk screen.
Uriah Wright goes, "This is a terrible boomer interview, Ethan." I'm just reading your super chats, Uriah. I got super chats lined up. You're all welcome to ask questions, and I'll ask them if you.
Someone also mentioned having a perk that would be like a tarot deck, which, a custom-made tarot deck that my artist would make. And in the video that you see in here in my Indiegogo campaign, you see that I'm playing with a custom tarot deck as well. So I think that would also be an additional perk. If we could figure out how to print that and do that, I think maybe with the stretch goal, that would be possible as well.
Yeah, we should plan on a stretch goal for getting you past for like 30,000. I think should be the first stretch goal, and figure out something kind of cool.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be, I know that my artist wants to do more pages. So it'll definitely be like another, I don't know, I think it'll end up being 60, because this is a 40-page graphic novel. And I think it's going to be 60 pages once we get past our stretch goal.
Well, that's like adding a whole nother book. That's pretty cool.
I wouldn't do that at all. I would save that for issue 2. Asami Comics, Martina, check out Asami's Curve. So Asami, we'll have you in here soon, Asami, and we'll find out about your comic. But you're awesome for, pitching it here. Yellow Flash Comics, Nasser, stop being a pussy. I don't think that's appropriate. Is it, Nasser?
I don't know why he's saying that. It sounds kind of weird.
Yeah. Astral Walker, are right-wing goths as rare as unicorns? Hashtag goth right is a cool idea.
Right? Yeah, no, everyone actually really loves goth right. I'd have to say that Dana Loesch has become a fan. She's totally goth right. She responds to me about it all the time.
Oh
so
my God,
we're out
awesome.
there. And I have a lot of other people that have caught on to goth right, goth nationalism. And so we're out there, and there's people that are just so excited to see other people that do have that edge. They like, I don't know, metal music or, just some art and music and different literature and the aesthetics that represents us, but we're not like typical conservative Republican MAGA people, we're out there.
That wouldn't be a bad name, by the way, for your imprint, is just call it Goth Right. If this were to grow and become something, you could have Goth Right Comics, and I think you would corner that market. That would be pretty great.
That's really cool. That's a good idea, yeah. I mean, I have a business that I'm doing this from that I started through performing. It's called Magnum Opus Productions. Because Magnum Opus is the alchemist's great work. It's Latin for the great work. So it makes all sense with Lady Alchemy and everything. But Gothright Comics is like really clean and simple to the point.
It's a great word. It's a really good word. Joey R75. I love Doug and his filthy old man spider hands. Now, Martina.
Yes.
The creator of Earthworm Jim. Okay, his name's Doug TenNapel. He's part of COMICSGATE. Do you remember Earthworm Jim? You're
I don't know a lot of the dude stuff, and
he's a video game.
I don't know video games at all, but
Yeah,
I know of him only because of watching your stream.
Right. So Doug confessed that he only washes his hands incidentally in the shower.
Right. I heard about this.
Okay.
Yes.
Calling them filthy old man spider hands. Joey, that's very poetic. That's very #Gothright, I will say. I don't know why you would love that about him. That's one of the things I love Doug, but that's one of the things that I will, if I could, I would change about Doug. I would also make him brush his teeth 3 times daily. But he won't do it 3 times weekly right now. And so we are at an impasse. We're at a crisis point. I suggest that you don't celebrate his filthy old man spider hands. I suggest that you become kind of like the adult that he's missing in his life at the age of 50 and recommend that he wash his hands and brush his teeth as often as possible. Right? Art or no?
Yeah,
I think so. I think so. And also, the next time I see Doug, he may get a fist bump, but he's definitely not getting a handshake.
I was thinking the same thing.
He's hugging people. This filthy man. He's like, I just like to hug people. It's like a bro hug, man. It's not gay. It's bro hug. I'm like, it's not about whether or not it's gay. It's about the fact that you don't wash your body and you insist on rubbing up on. And dude, I will not hug you. Not at all. Azure Hydra was goth. Mega now say hi is sexual harassment in California.
Yeah.
Was goth MAGA now. Okay, saying hi is sexual harassment in California. I got that. Well, yeah, I wouldn't say hi to anyone in California then. Asami Comics Goth Ethan is Bennett from Commando.
Oh,
there's Doug right now.
yeah, I heard you. I heard you defiling my amazing clean hands.
Doug, meet Martina Marcota.
Hello.
Wow. Holy moly, hi.
Doug, you're married. We saw your wife.
My wife's awesome. I wasn't making a statement about
what I'm saying is this. We saw the painting yesterday. I'm cutting that down. Martina. Again, I'm going to you for this because you are the only woman in this chat. Now, if your husband, soon-to-be husband, was to paint a picture of you, would you be alarmed when he chose the photo reference of you? Would you be alarmed if the photo reference he chose of you to paint was you in sunglasses, frowning, turned away from the camera with your arms tightly crossed over your chest?
like a Valkyrie destroying the horizon.
That's not what was happening in that painting.
Destroying the horizon.
It's actually pretty funny. I kind of like that.
I don't think it was meant to be funny though.
Thank you, love. That's all I needed. That's all I need.
It's kind of cool, actually.
She's right.
I don't think she's seen the picture, EBS. That's what it is.
If she saw the picture, she would think differently. She'd be like, "Oh my god!" Actually, I think that's just the state of things, and I like the idea. Somebody just put 20 years with Doug, like that's the title. Has it been 20 years? 20.
This is what it'll do to a person.
28 years. Let me find the picture just for reference.
All right, you want to pull that out?
Hey, Doug, it's a beautiful painting, though. I mean, you killed it.
Don't patronize me, Art.
No, it is. It's like kind of an Andrew Wyeth kind of thing.
It's exactly an Andrew Wyeth.
You want to fist bump me like Obama next time we see me instead of giving me a
come on.
You'd rather your Obama and Michelle greeting is what you'll offer me.
American Gothright with Doug TenNapel. Terrible. All right, let me read a few more. You want me to pull up that paint? No, I don't want to see that.
I'm doing. I'll just do it and then I'll jump.
I'm going to clip it anyway. You're all right. So, let's see. Yellow Flash says, "Boomer Art, tell her drive-in movie stories."
Dude,
Oh,
I don't know
I
about-
used to work at a drive-in movie theater, and so I was okay with the girls in high school, and I also was in a rock band, so I did okay.
You don't have to do what Yellow Flash tells you to do, by the way.
Oh, I
Yellow
don't have to
Flash will-
answer his questions.
Yeah, you don't
Okay.
have to do that. You can say, "Shut up, Yellow Flash."
Shut up, Yellow Flash.
I don't know
Asami
about everyone else, but drive-ins are really cool. Up where I'm from in New York, they have some of like these really old drive-ins, like one of the first ones that they ever made, and they were really fun. I used to go to them in high school too.
They're a blast, yeah.
Oh my god, the picture is pretty awesome.
Okay, look at this. If your husband painted this of you,
Mhm.
It's really good.
yeah,
Let me click
if
on
he
that.
did an oil of you would say, "This man, he loves me. He doesn't just look at that. Look at her."
She looks
You know what
angry.
it looks like? It looks like here's what it looks like to me right now. It looks like the view that you would have from the backseat of a police car as your wife
Look
had
how-
you arrested.
Look how I'm 6'8", and I probably had to get down on my knees to take
And
this
she's-
picture. It's an upshot.
She's like, just take him away, take him out of here. And the officers are like, we'll send some people over to comfort you, ma'am. And
No,
she's like, I
not
don't even
scowling
care.
at me. She's looking at the horizon.
It looks like an 80s
She
cover.
looks
from an album.
angry.
She runs the universe.
Well, I mean, like you could see that there's a bit of water to the left, so
Yeah,
that's
she's
a
at the ocean.
really important touch there. And there's a bit of gold coming in from that area. So
There's
She
a
looks
Mendocino
like she's on your
sunset.
hand.
yeah.
Mendocino sunset.
Yeah. I
So
don't know.
without that, it would be a little weirder, but you can see what's happening there. It's good.
Yeah. Oh, I love her. Look at that. Ooh.
It's a good painting. It's a good
It flips
painting.
my
But
heart out just seeing this, and just you guys may not know her, but this is so. It's like she's blending it with the background. She's like one with the background, and that is just it just captures her.
new
She's a
painting
natural.
title.
She's a natural wonder.
She's defiant too, guys.
Yeah.
This woman was put in the meat grinder growing up. I'm just saying she has been through hell, and she is the most gentle, amazing person.
So
with-
she was
with
ready to
fire.
be married to you for 28 years.
Yeah.
New painting title.
Oh yeah,
I
the only
told
one.
you to wash your hands. That's
yeah.
Well,
Oh, she-
I like it, Doug. I don't want to come down critically on you anymore. I like that painting, and I'm
Bro-
proud of you.
Brother, I'll take art advice from you all day. I'll learn from it.
Oh
I
yeah,
love
yeah,
it.
yeah.
I love
You know what she needs? Right? She needs cybernetic limbs. That would have improved the
She needs
painting.
laser beams coming out of her eyes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Asami Comics says Goth Ethan is Bennett from Commando. I don't know that reference. Who's Bennett from Commando? Do I need to? I don't. Probably mean. Gunnar Rene Oile from Norway. Have you seen the Norwegian comic Nemi? Speaking of goth girl protagonists, it's really popular here. So, hey, buy Lady Alchemy, and you know.
Oh, I got to get in on that.
Well, you should. She's at $7,341 right now. She is at 91% of her flexible goal. Which
Amazing.
is good
You
news.
know, I was saying before we launched, I was like, I don't know, I'm scared, I'm nervous. I'm gonna get like $150 and I'm gonna want to kill myself. And look at now, it's like
That's
Yeah,
so
well-
goth, by the way. The whole, I'm
I know
gonna
how you
kill
feel
myself.
because
Yeah.
my first campaign fell, so it's pretty hard.
yeah. I cannot even fathom. And you know, I'm a really empathetic person, so it's just like every backer it just like warms my heart, and I just really want to make sure that I can like give them something that they're like, wow, I'm
Right.
happy with this. So
We will support you.
thank you.
Yeah, we will. Let's see. Please become a regular guest, Martina, says Entropy.
That'd be awesome.
It'll sure clean things up around here. I'll tell you that much. That'd be nice.
Martina,
Well, I listen to you guys anyway, so don't try to like act like something you're not.
I'm just not going to let Cecil post elephantitis pictures of people's genitals around you. Come on. I mean, I'll let him, but it's just I think he will automatically refrain, and that's good for the show.
we will be degenerate around you because we don't know any other way. It's just
I
who
have
we are.
3 brothers. It's cool. It's cool.
Okay.
Mark C. One criticism of her tiers: she goes from $50 to $150 by adding a T-shirt. Yeah, there should be some middle ground there. It should be $100, I think, in between.
But she's a fashion. If it's fashion, remember these things are abstract. It's like if you're paying for style, you're paying for style.
Man of Martin, buying her comic for my daughter. He's both and loves comics. Thanks for putting this out there. She loves female leads and creators.
Cool. See that? See that?
Spirit's Car, has Martina read any of Grant Morrison's occult science fiction?
I don't really do that much sci-fi. I read like Israel Regardie. It's like the Bible on alchemy and esoteric knowledge. I mean, I love like Nicholas Flamel. I love historical, biographical things like that. But let me write that one down too, actually, because I'll get into it.
Get into Grant Morrison. He's fun.
Grant Morrison? That's what it is?
Yeah, he's a Scottish writer. He's a comic book writer. You'll
it's fun and it's really out there. It's weird.
Grant Morrison once he told me he took acid and then went to Saturn, and he said he described the surface of Saturn to me, which was just a normal conversation with Grant Morrison. Justin Panlosijui, so sorry. Martina, have you met Michael Graves, formerly of the Misfits? Definitely goth, right?
I have not met him, but
Martina has to do homework. She's writing down. You don't have to listen to these people either.
I mean, it's all. I'll go over everything with my team and see what we want to take the advice we want to take or not.
Some fellow travelers.
I haven't met the Misfits. I saw when I was a teenager. I went to like a NoFX and AFI concert.
Yep.
And I saw them, and then I've met like Gene Simmons before.
Yep.
He gave me a hug.
Yeah, he did.
Talk about sweat. Talk about pearls of sweat on that. That guy's drenched.
Lady Alchemy graphic novels at $7,430 right now, guys. We're only $570 from goal. Wow. Keep pushing. Detective Dead Crimson Moon is at $4,340, raised by 144 backers. 43% of the $10,000 flexible goal. You got to check out Detective Dead.
I appreciate it.
Black and White remastered right now. Selling a few copies. $9,179. 91% of the goal.
We're a few hundred away. Yeah, we're a few hundred away, and I think we have a half hour left, so we can fund it in the first day that it's up. That's pretty cool.
Cyberfrog Blood Honey hasn't sold a single copy since I've been on.
That's a first. That's a first.
Yeah, not a single copy. I don't know what they're trying to say.
Let's get this frog jumping.
We got to get that frog jumping. It's jumping, believe me. Ragmuffin says, but can she talk shit?
Oh, I think she could talk shit.
Wow. Listen, I don't think so. I think she's a journalist for Rebel Media. She only talks.
Trust me, I can talk shit, but I have to be professional and not do that. But maybe off the air we can talk shit.
Yeah, there you go.
Yellow Flash, Bigfoot Bill comes with free poop particles. Doug, I don't like the way people. I have to be honest with you. This whole thing about filth has gone too far at this point. Has it jumped the shark? You and filth?
It's getting close, but I don't care. It's cool.
Before hugging Doug, you need to cover him with toilet paper like a truck stop toilet seat, says Sly Marbo. Is that too far?
No. I think that's acceptable. That's tasteful. That has good content.
Why are they? Martina would make an awesome Zatanna, says Era Turbo 99999.
That's cool.
Zatanna's awesome.
Someone said that about the magician, right?
Yeah, she talks backwards.
Yeah, someone said that about me as well recently, and I was like looking it up, and I'm like, yeah, that's so true. And it's funny because with Lady Alchemy, I mean, alchemy is like magic and all that stuff. You learn spells and things like that, but I think it's similar to Zatanna, where I wanted to with Lady Alchemy, the actual performer, burlesque dancer. I wanted to learn a little illusionist magic as well, because then I could be Lady Alchemy, being like a high priestess performing, magic rituals, but they're illusion, so it has that same blend of what's an illusion, what's real magic.
Nice.
Yeah, definitely.
How cool
we need to get her a top hat.
How cool would it be if Lady Alchemy became a big enough comic book that it was able to cross over with Zatanna from DC. Like if you're able to borrow, some of these characters and actually get to interact, that would be great.
Really cool. Yeah. Well, that's something when I was talking 8 years ago to that guy that I was talking to him about making a comic book, he said, what's great about doing this is that it's a good segue into movies and stuff like that, into Hollywood, because, all of those movies that they make on these superheroes, they all come from comics. So cool place.
John Malin, welcome.
What's going on,
John.
Yeah, hi everybody.
I think we have Ian Miller in here now. Rockstar Ian Miller. Is that you?
Oh my gosh.
That's me. What's up?
Not a lot, just hanging out. We have Martina Markota here from Rebel Media, creator of Lady Alchemy, a new graphic novel that she's working on that's kind of based on her experience as a burlesque dancer in New York City, but also kind of ties into her. I guess it's going to symbolically kind of explain away how she felt, being a Trump supporter in that world. And she's going to do that. She's going to tell that story in a kind of mystical way, which sounds like a lot of fun. Martina went through what all of us, I think, are going through right now, where we kind of get demonized and separated from what we thought was regular society. It turns out we're regular society, and half of the world kind of broke off in insanity and is spinning towards the sun. So she's decided to join COMICSGATE, which I think is the best thing that she can do as a creative person. And she's launched a graphic novel called Lady Alchemy. Right now, it's at $7,494. We're looking for another $506 to meet that flexible goal. So Vincent Ryder says, have her back again. Well, she'll be back.
Yeah.
She hasn't left yet.
Yeah, the show isn't over yet. But Martina, what we'll do is we'll put you in the chat. We'll put you in the DM thread, and every day, people put up links to live streams, and you can join and promote your comic that way.
And horrifying photographs.
Yeah. Oh God.
You're gonna let her see that? Come on.
Whoever that was, Yellow Flash. I have a beef with Yellow Flash right now. You can't do stuff like that, Yellow Flash. And you know what I'm talking about. It's disgusting. It's my little DM thread. He knows what I mean. I don't have to expound upon that.
Well, there's a lot of weird stuff going on. Didn't you get some asshole shots or something recently?
Yeah,
too?
I don't know why people are all sending me naked pictures. No, thank you. So this guy, Robbie Rodriguez, Martina. Now, this would be a good story for Rebel Media. Okay.
That's what I was wondering. I didn't know enough about it, but I know that there was some someone from DC or Marvel was sending you
somebody. No, it's even better than that. It's Zoe Quinn's collaborator at DC Comics. So Zoe Quinn has a comic book coming out from DC.
Yeah, I know
Comics.
about that. I was going to do a video on that. Yeah.
Well, this would be good. And Ethan's got, unlike the other journalist, he actually has the facts and the actual shots of the tweets and stuff.
I didn't keep the shots of the tweets. I mean,
you put them on as your wallpaper.
No, that's not true. It's a lie. Other people did, though. They're all over the place, so I get to be reminded by them. Every time my fans stick up for me, I am re-assaulted. Martina, yeah. I'm re-offended every single time one of my fans is like, "Oh yeah, well look what they did to Ethan." Boom, and they show the picture of the.
It's like traumatized flashbacks.
Yeah.
Every single time. They don't see me. They don't see me crying in the shower, which is what inevitably happens every single time. Curled up, shaking, crying.
Damage.
Well, I mean, when I first started working at Rebel, my second video was COMICSGATE. That's how I got in contact with you and Richard or Zach. I don't know, whatever. And And I would like, so I've been slandered by the media myself. They took a video that I did when I was in Brooklyn as a burlesque dancer, and I started just making some silly YouTube videos. And I have this really funny edit about, during the whole height of Pizzagate stuff, I was like, well, I have 2 cents on Pizzagate, and it had nothing to do with Comet Ping Pong or the conspiracy theory. It was about my experience on the deep web. So in 2014, I went on the deep web and I was in chat rooms and I had someone say, "Oh, be careful of cheese pizza." And they said, And I was like, what's that? What's cheese pizza? And then they told me that it's code on the deep web for child porn. So that was my 2 cents, was that little bit of information was like, hey, you know, this is what I found out. Then there turns out that there's like arrests that have been made. There's one guy in New Jersey that was posting on Craigslist for cheese pizza, and he got arrested for, you know, trying to solicit child pornography, blah, blah. It's a real thing. It's a real code word. But I didn't mention anything about any conspiracy. There's no common ping pong my thing. But the media, when I was working at the Caller, decided, let's get her on this. And they went around and said that I'm this big promoter of the DC Pizzagate comic ping pong conspiracy theory. I was like, that's not what it is at all. Like, can you know, do you guys have any facts? Like, can you do any journalism? And it's no proof of me doing anything about a conspiracy. I was talking about the deep web.
Not.
And so I was written by Vice, Vanity Fair, BuzzFeed. I mean, everyone, The Hill, every single mainstream outlet. They had my photo up on MSNBC with that lady, Joy Reid, had me up and was saying how I'm like this pizza gator. And I was like, no, I'm not. I was talking about the deep web. It's real.
Yeah.
And
you know,
so
I ordered Martina. I ordered delivery last night. So what you're saying actually makes a lot of sense now.
And I was just really frustrating because I couldn't even get people, you know, on our side, my side, to, you know, clear the record, you know, officially. And all that there was the other side saying all these lies. So I think it's really important. I mean, it's great that you have fans. I mean, I didn't even have that. So it must feel a little bit better to know, you know, I know what the truth is, and everyone else knows what the truth is. But it's always really nice to get someone to report the truth and to say the truth out there, because as far as you know, Wikipedia or anything goes, they're only going to have the wrong sources on it. They're not going to have anything to clear the record. So I would love to, you know, have whatever information on your side that there is and be able to report on it. So at least there's like something on the other side, you know? It's always nice to have that.
Well, we have to do that ourselves. We can't depend on them to do that. I mean, this is the thing. This is why COMICSGATE exists, Martina, and the chat. You guys have to understand. Like, you could sit around and wait for SJWs and far leftists who are basically manipulating and controlling and gatekeeping the comic book industry to treat people like Mike S. Miller with some decency, or the Brightwisers with some decency. You can wait all day long, but we don't want to be at their mercy anymore. The media doesn't need to be at the mercy of these social justice warriors. They don't need to be. We need to create our own media, our own comic book industry, our own entertainment industry, and actually create product that's based in truth and reality and actual apolitical, I would say ethical entertainment, and then let the audience decide. Let our fans decide. You don't have to be force-fed this dribble.
Yeah, and I have zero respect for anybody ordering just cheese pizza. That's total soy. I mean,
unless you're a fourth grader. I mean,
yeah, I was like, I did order cheese pizza. I did do that, you know. And then some dude shows up at my door with 3 8-year-olds. I was like, what the? So that's why Martina said that, and something clicked.
It made sense.
Yeah. Cleanliness is next to godliness. Doug is a sinner, says Midnight Cherry TV.
True. I'm a sinner. True.
James Trammell, why is Doug painting porch? I'm not reading that. I'm not reading that. It's indecent. Narwhal Books, congrats, Martina. Mark C, I like Lady Alchemy. She'll make biblical Doug's head explode.
No, I've studied alchemy up the yay. I love alchemy. Oh yeah, I love it.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah. I mean, when I first started performing with Lady Alchemy stuff, I mean, if you look at my website, it's lady-alchemy.com. And I have some performances that are very strange and weird, and like cover myself in all this black shit and stuff like that. And it's called Negretto, which is the first phase of the alchemical process. And I would just do all this stuff that people were like, wow, that was shocking and crazy. And they loved it. But not everyone really understood the symbolisms behind it. When I tried to explain it, people were like, oh, that's too there's too much symbolism. No one's going to understand that. But you know what? It doesn't matter, because the people that don't understand it just think it's a really cool performance. And the people that do understand it are people like you. And I've had many people message me and go, wow, I totally get what you did.
You're in good company, by the way. Literary masters have all studied alchemy. That's why I did it before I did Ghostopolis, my book. The lady that did Hunger Games is full of alchemy symbology. Art Rowling studied it. Harry Potter is full of alchemy symbology. Shakespeare, you
And
can find
others.
alchemy all
Oh,
over
yeah.
Shakespeare.
Yeah, I did. You know, when I was in college, I would in literature class, I would always try to use college as a way to, you know, study and explore alchemy, and I would write papers on
Yeah.
Shakespeare.
I can
and
tell
just
you're well read. I can tell you're well read.
Yeah, and I mean, I've gotten made fun of by people being like, "You think alchemy is real? Like, you're so stupid." I'm like, well, I mean, Isaac Newton was obsessed with alchemy.
Yeah.
Leonardo da Vinci was obsessed with alchemy. So, wow, you must be smarter than them. Congratulations. Like,
It's still a materialist bias that's against it. So the idea that there can only be matter in motion, and alchemy flies in the face of that. So to me, it's another form of paganism, but it's interesting and truer than the madness of materialism that most people live in. So at least it's a step away from madness.
yeah, I mean, and you know, they talk about that. I mean, oh, you think you can turn lead to gold? It's like, well, not. I mean, it's a metaphor, and also a true alchemist. Once you start learning this process, that gold doesn't even matter anymore. It's
That's right.
that process of refinement and bettering your own soul over and over again that becomes valuable to you, which is why you're obsessed with alchemy.
Yeah.
It's not getting to the gold. That's
And the
whatever.
color red, black, and white.
Yep.
That's the name of my art book that's
That's
coming
what
out.
I'm saying. I was going to tie it in. There's a whole lot of overlap with COMICSGATE and alchemy already. So welcome.
And
What's
black
the-
and white.
What is red, black, and white? That's what it is. Cool.
Yeah, it's
No,
black,
these
white,
make-
and red.
We have two different projects, Martina. There's
Three.
somebody has a book called Black and White, and then somebody else has a book called Black and Red. And so, you know, John Malin wants to do something called Red, Black, and White, and then confuse everybody. I don't think it's a good idea, John.
Cecil was recommending that Doug came out with brown and red. Was that last night?
Disgusting. We won't talk about that anymore.
Yeah, we won't go there.
Cecil, see?
Did
I
you
know
guys
what
see
you
that?
did.
I don't think we've even begun to scratch the dirt of the surface that is Doug's nasty, nasty hygiene.
No, we have.
you.
Lady Alchemy graphic novel, $7,654 right now. So it's very close. We're getting very close to that $8,000
You're doing
mark.
great, Martina. That's awesome.
Detective Dead, by the way, selling a bunch of copies, $4,500 dollars right now. Congratulations! to-
Yes.
Thank you, everyone. I appreciate it.
And of course, Black and White remastered, edging up towards its goal, $9,237. Cyberfrog Blood Honey has not sold a single copy. It's at $90,213.
Oh, you poor thing.
Has not moved.
Hey, yes, can I show you a painting that
Yeah,
of the Cecil fan art?
Cecil fan art. Yeah, I would like
Yeah.
to see that.
All right.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, what is going on?
You do.
That's high tea. That's high tea Cecil.
That is Nurkish and Cecil together. Now, who is Big Bird tied up in the? Oh, Big Bird tied up in the background there. That's worrisome. Yeah. Well, thank you for that.
Yeah, that was
Appreciate it.
authentic. That was authentic.
Let's see. Liam says Misfits. Funny you mentioned them. I just got done pitching COMICSGATE to Glenn Danzig a couple days ago. True story. Yeah.
Well, Glenn Danzig, I met him a couple years ago, and my daughter's a big fan, and he did a drawing for her, and then invited us to the show here in Orange County, and we got to go see him, and he did the whole Misfits set and everything like that. So Glenn Danzig is a big comics fan.
Well,
Yeah.
he's a comic book publisher.
Well,
yeah.
His logo came from was it Crystar the Crystal Warrior? It was a Michael Golden drawing.
Oh yeah, the with the horns,
Yeah,
yeah, that thing's
And-
cool.
there's stories like he used to go to comic conventions in the 70s and beat the crap out of people who like set their stuff up too close to his booth.
Well, he sounds like a nice gentleman.
Yeah.
Somebody that we really want associated with us.
Oh yeah. Well,
Creepy little
it's
book.
all,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
all speculation. Don't believe me.
Oh yeah. It's probably not true.
Well, who
Creepy-
are you saying would do it? I'm sorry. Was it Glenn Danzig that would punch people, or Michael Golden?
It wasn't
Uh,
Michael Golden.
No.
I'm starting to think maybe Michael Golden's badass.
Yeah. But you mean the inker Michael Golden?
He's an artist. He's a penciler.
Penciler,
Yeah, the penciler. He did Micronauts.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Amigo, tying it back to Tootie.
Right. Right back to. Well, I'm not gonna get the tootied all naked. Sorry.
Okay, creepy little book. Go.
Creepy little book. How about Manly P. Hall?
Oh yes, I have an amazing Manly P. Hall book. It's really big, and I have no idea how old it is. But it has like when you open it up, like pages that come out, and has all those amazing like lithographs and stuff. Oh, it's so good. I quote Manly P. Hall all the time. Love him.
I quote Papus. I like Papus. He's my main alchemist guy. Papus.
Yeah, like papyrus.
Yeah. Papyrus.
David Leva super chat won't let me post lyrics to AMG's "Better Have My Money." That's too bad. Cecil says I'll hook her up with Robbie Rectum for an interview.
Oh my god.
That would be
Can't
great.
do that.
Yeah. Man. James Trump. So much came of that, Martina. You know, this guy Robbie Rodriguez, Zoe Quinn's collaborator on the DC comic book series, Goddess Mode, sent me a picture of his. I believe it was his. My wife said, "Is that his?" I was like, "How would I know? How would I know? I'm not sure." But I assume it was. You know. Yeah. So Cecil has a mask that he wears, and
I've seen it. I'm
Okay.
aware of Robbie Rectum. Yes.
All right. James Trammell. Sorry, Caesar. I was mocking the painting, not the lady. Doug, my apologies. James Trammell apologizes to you. Bagel Goose, shut the hell up, smug Doug. Quite a few people are cursing out Doug when he starts talking about alchemy to Lady Alchemy. They don't like it, and people are in the chat are cursing you out big time and calling you smug. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll try to refrain.
Yeah, they call him smug Doug all the time, and I don't get it. I don't find him to be smug.
Well, I mean, it's a fun moment to be able to, you know, talk about it and show that it's not just like Lady Alchemy is this made up thing.
Yeah, it's not. We'll talk offline. I'd love to pick your brain about alchemy because it's fascinating to me.
Yeah, Martina is thoroughly charmed by Doug, guys. People are saying Doug is hitting on her. Dirtworm Doug.
That is not true. I'm the happiest married man. I recognize her. I recognize her beauty. I'm not hitting on her. She got her husband in the room.
Dirtworm Doug.
Don't start those rumors, guys. Don't start those rumors.
Oh my God. Hashtag Doug Splain. There's a lot of people hashtag Doug Splain. Okay, Doug. Okay. Oh my God. There are more nicknames come. The hate for Doug right now is extreme. Pick her brain. Yeah, right. Doug is cool. I like Doug, not surface knowledge only. And more people, Dirtworm Doug. Doug is not Mitch. We don't apologize to Doug. Nobody is going to apologize to Doug. That's right. They will apologize to Mitch at the drop of a hat.
Yep.
But they will not apologize to
Mitch
Doug.
is a good man.
He is a good man.
I've never claimed to be a good man.
No, as far as I can tell, you have never made the claim to be a good man, and you've lived up to that.
Yeah. I agree with most of them. So,
Psychotic Cognition 100. Hey, Lady Alchemy, thoughts on Carl Jung?
Yeah, Carl Jung is great. He mainly focused on inner alchemy. So like alchemy, I think Doug was like touching on this, is that there's like the outer work and the inner work. So like the outer work is like the physical chemistry, stuff like that. And that's what like science, modern day science is like the outer work. But what modern day science is missing is the inner work. And, the world has to be connected that way. You can't just isolate the inner work. That's why science has limitations. And the inner work is the Carl Jung aspect and stuff like that. So it's really fantastic if you really want to get into like the inner work, which is what I like. I like to read a lot of the inner work because people take therapy and they need all sorts of pills or this or that. But, if you start getting into some inner work of alchemy, that's what the Negretto, that first phase is about just facing your demons and just purging and burning and calcifying all of your demons and issues and coming face to face with them. Then you can start clean again and get to a new place. So there's some really awesome stuff with the inner work.
Saying science has its limits. You just said science has its limits. Even that alone will bring you so much hate. Right? Like saying science has its limits, which is true.
Well, because they're not, science is, I studied math at NYU, so I studied plenty of science. I love science, but what I see is how they separated. I mean, because it was originally first alchemy. There was no science.
Right.
It was alchemy. And when modern day science started to branch away from like, oh, that's silly stuff with ether, and energy and stuff like that. But they're starting to realize that through quantum physics, that strange things really do happen. And there is like an ether and something connecting all of the elements together that we don't quite understand.
And
so
science is forever baffled by human consciousness.
Yeah.
They cannot find a material explanation for it.
Yeah, exactly. So they're really separating something that's really, really important, which is the inner work and energy. I mean, something when I started learning about practical alchemy, making like elixirs and stuff like that, they said, well, I mean, alcohol, like when you go to get some spirits, the word spirit comes from alchemy, because they would take alcohol can extract medicinal properties from herbs. So they would throw herbs in alcohol and it would extract the spirit of that herb, which has the medicinal properties. And they say, be careful with alcohol because, your elixir, because whatever your energy and emotions, again, these are vibrations. And that's kind of what my comic book is about. Like, all of this stuff, just it has a place. That's why when I talk about the vibrations of the city and the propaganda and nature, like everything in the world is a vibration. And a lot of time, modern day science doesn't pay attention to that aspect. But so when you're doing this elixir, it's not just the scientific things that you're doing and the things that you're mixing together, but your vibrations onto that if affects that elixir. And when I read that, I was kind of like, oh my God, that's so true, because not only is my emotions affecting that alcohol elixir, but when I drink alcohol, whatever my emotions are gets amplified. So you see the relationship between
drinking the Founders right here. There's only
nice.
This is the drink of patriots, Founders. That's why when I was half ripped last night on Ethan's show, I was so erudite and transcendent.
Transcendent.
I was transcendent.
You have to be careful with, your emotions are amplified through the alcohol, which is, I find to be very true.
The chat wants to know if Martina is also a hygiene denier, like Doug is. That is killing me. They're
hygiene denier.
When did you wash your hands last?
When I went to the bathroom.
Last week.
Heretic,
yeah.
Yeah.
No, I always wash my hands before cooking. I'm really paranoid with food and stuff like that, especially if it's kitchen stuff. I mean,
if you're touching chicken, you got to wash your hands. You touch chicken.
What?
That's
Doug, that will toughen you up.
Because it's death. It's death. Salmonella is death.
Yeah.
I thought you had an immune system of iron.
I do, but my point is, when you go to a public bathroom and wash your hands, you pick up 80 different strands of salmonella.
Yeah,
is my point.
All right, we are this close at this point to funding Lady Alchemy, $7,718. Are you guys aware of this? Martina Marcota, who is in the chat, kind of AKA Lady Alchemy, has done her own comic book about a superhero version of herself and her experiences in New York City as a burlesque kind of superhero.
Who did that cover? Who did the cover? It looks fantastic. Look at that.
This one?
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like...
who did that?
That's my artist. That's my partner that I'm doing this with. So he works in LA. He does a lot of storyboarding stuff for movies and corporate things. And he's done a lot of stuff. We just kind of clicked because he has the same understanding of alchemy that I do, esoteric knowledge. He has the same idea of aesthetics that I do. He's really hip to aesthetic fashion and what's edgy and stuff. He's LA, I'm New York.
It's very well designed.
So we just kind of hit this trifecta, and he's also politically aligned with me, which is why he has to remain mysterious.
So he can work. What?
Yeah, he's out in LA, man. So
it's such BS.
Awesome. Yeah, this is great stuff. By the way, if you guys aren't aware, those of you in the chat, because we haven't talked about it in a little while, the link is in the description. She's looking for $8,000 to meet her flexible goal to get Lady Alchemy funded. Lady Alchemy, the graphic novel. Don't miss out on this. She's got some great tiers here. $25, you'll get the 40-page graphic novel. $50, you get the poster, I believe, is autographed, and the graphic novel. There's a limited edition silkscreen that you could get as well. As you can see, it's rather large. There is in scale. And 150 book poster, t-shirt, autograph poster, everything. It is quite a thing. Why not support this now? Get in and be one of the first backers. Be one of the first 200 backers at this point, rather than, hey, I'm backer, 2,568. Be one of the original backers and support Lady Alchemy by our own Martina Markota from Rebel Media. And all of that. This is it's great to have her joining COMICSGATE and being a part of this terrific movement.
Yeah.
Yeah, people are saying bad things about Doug still all through that.
Get in line. Get in line.
Dirtworm Doug has really caught on, but then it became something really gross. It became butt plug Doug, and I wanted to
come
stop
on
that right away.
Yeah,
I can't. I don't want you to call my friend butt plug Doug. Not when he comes in here and I don't know. He's a good guy. He's a good guest. So let's be kind.
I laid on the cheddar. Thank you, Ethan. What about Art T. Bear? He's under a clock. I don't want to put.
Well, let me just go through all this. Let me go through. So Lady Alchemy, will refresh that. So Lady Alchemy is doing pretty good. She is less than $300 away from meeting her goal.
So
Detective Dead's selling comics left and right. Of course, he's 45.50 now.
Nice.
45%.
Cool. Congratulations.
I appreciate it.
Black and White by RT Bear, 93.17. Will he do it? Can he make 500 or 600? Yeah, I'm so bad at numbers. $683 in a month.
Martina's the mathematician. She'll just Rain Man it out right now.
No, it's okay. I'm not a calculator. I hate when people ask me to calculate things. Sorry. I got a calculator that does that. I do like the calculus, the hard stuff.
Get off her back, Doug.
Hey, she's got to go grind up an herb with her, with her little grinding stone to do the math.
The mortar.
Mortar.
Still have not sold a single copy of Cyberfrog, but that's okay. All of this should go towards these three comics that we seem to be promoting. Even though John Malin's here, and I have not put his comic book up there yet. John Malin's comic is called Graveyard Shift. John Malin. Martina, let me explain John Malin to you.
Yes, please.
John Malin is one of the original anti-SJW comics gators. He had no reason to do this, but in January, John Malin blasted the social justice warriors in comics in a way that was so forthright and true that it actually shook them to their core. He compared them. They were talking about how right-wingers were Nazis, and he said, no, SJWs are more akin to Nazis. And he had a great quote that stunned them, absolutely stunned them. And it took me a while to realize that he was right. At first, I was like, well, I wouldn't call them Nazis. No, I would. I would call them that now. I think they're close to that in their behavior and their goals. So John is, I think, would we call you OG COMICSGATE, John? I mean, what would we,
Yeah, sure. Yeah. So I did do Jawbreakers, which was the first one out the gate for our COMICSGATE community, and did really well. We got just over 10,000 backers on it. So
wow, that's great.
Crazy.
Man. That's great.
That's great.
Well, yeah. I mean, and so John's very important. I do think. Very brave as well. Peter Mayer says this chat needs drunk Doug to argue with Martina. I don't.
No.
No, we don't disagree.
Some interesting stuff here. Hang on a second. So, all right, yeah, caught up on last night's live stream before this started. Why the beef with Catholics, Doug? Or was that in just? I'm Catholic, says Jesus Sabalas Jr.
That's weird. I'm buddies with
Catholics?
Tim. No, Tim Lim is a Catholic. I follow and read hundreds of Catholics.
I get a lot of stuff about that too with my alchemy stuff. But I mean, if you read like Saint Germain, all these like old like alchemy texts, even Manly P. Hall, they all talk about Jesus and God and all sorts of stuff. And actually, when you do like the LBR ritual, the Lesser Vanishing Ritual of the Pentagram, which is like the first basic ritual you learn in magic and Israel Regardi, you call upon God, and all around you. And then you call upon the four archangels, Michael, Gabriel, Uriel, and all that stuff. And archangels are Catholic.
Hey, Martina.
Tolkien was fascinated by.
All right, hang on. Martina, you're funded. $8,006.
Wow.
So congratulations.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Ta-da!
Fully
So I
funded.
beat my $150 estimate. This is crazy.
Yeah, you did better than $100. You know, we had the same thing happen to Antonio Bryce. He came over here with his comic book brand. He'd raised $95 on Kickstarter, and what is he at $35,000 right now with us here at Indiegogo? That's what COMICSGATE does. It's
This is amazing.
Thank you, everyone in the chat. Let me read some more of these super chats, and Doug, please, you know, for the love of God, let me get through some of these. I know that you have a lot to say.
I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying anything, man.
You didn't apologize for all the nasty things you said about being about Catholics, and people are very upset about that. What is your problem with Catholics anyway?
Am I supposed to talk or not, Ethan?
No, you're just supposed to take the abuse, I think. Vincent Ryder, Gothic Beauty Princess, Dazzle, Glittering Prize. That was a haiku I think somebody wrote for you, Martina.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Mark C, Lady Alchemy, has Olivia ever used you as a model? Do you know who Olivia is?
That's the pinup artist at Comic-Con. She sells the posters of kind of Art Nouveau style.
Oh, very nice.
Very famous.
So
Yeah,
apparently not.
No, not yet, but I would love to if she's on Twitter. Let's look it up.
Ross Johnson says, any comment on the Gail Simone trash talk? What Gail Simone trash talk? I don't know. You let me know what she said. Fedigator, EVS, did Clavin ever post his video with you? Not that I'm aware of. Andrew Rotten, can you concoct a hair growth elixir for Ethan? Oh, yeah. Is that possible? Martina, they say I'm bald. I'm not. I'm losing a little in the front, just a little. And so if you're able to concoct a hair growth elixir that works for me so that I don't have to do that thing, you know what they do? They cut a whole strip of your head off in the back and they paste it to the front of your head. That's
a
it.
copy paste.
Yeah. I might have to resort to that unless you guys can sort out alchemy for my.
Yeah, we'll work out some of that alchemy. I'll try.
Appreciate it. Yeah.
It's probably like having to drink some sort of like bull testicles or something crazy.
Oh well, I'll do. Well, I'll do
it.
Whatever. I mean, yeah, we'll do. Bimbo Otaku Gaijin says I can listen to Martina all day. Please come on, then.
Everyone's so amazing. Thank you guys so much. Like, you don't understand how much this all means to me.
Is this better than being persecuted in New York City by SJWs?
It is. I mean, it's been nonstop persecution, not only by like the New York City art feminazi, you know, SJWs, but even I feel like in the political scene, the punditry stuff, everyone's just fighting for themselves and hasn't really supported that much. And I get called like all sorts of names and thought and this and that. So it's really nice to have people just being so supportive of my comic book. I mean, like, it just really means a lot. All these people. And I'll do what I can too for that. Now I can't stop thinking about that $150 perk. I want to make sure maybe I can throw something extra in there for those people, whoever got that.
You got to do it before someone goes in, because you can only change it if no one is in the tier.
There's 6 people in the tier. So can I change it?
You could just put in the description on the front of your page what you're adding to it.
Yeah, I might throw something in there for whoever got that, because it just means so much to me. I just thank you guys so much.
Yeah, just make it a stretch goal.
Yeah.
Let's see. Did she teach Nasser how to be a man? Says GRP Paul. Yeah, I think she did. I think she gave him some good advice. Phil Devereaux, just love for Doug. He should send me a beer. Peter Mayer, Ethan, I'm sorry, but you missed my earlier super chat. Don't worry, I got it. I circled back. Harry Bergeron, I like Doug. He takes the abuse with almost the same aplomb as Mike. Yeah, I know. I mean, Doug's funny. Doug's friends with comedians and stuff, so he can take it, guys.
I'm battle worn. I love it.
Absolutely. Ian Howe, just back Lady Alchemy at your direction. Good, Centurion. This whole COMICSGATE thing is getting expensive. Well, yeah. Dust, $1.99. Will back Black and White. Glad I backed Oodles of Doodles.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much.
Peter Mayer, never mind. You just read it. Sorry. Thank you for another $2 to acknowledge that I read the super. Oh my gosh. Integer Spin, £2. Malin, what's your take on Wapo's take on you?
WAPO.
Washington Post.
Oh, did they say something? I didn't know.
Did they? Yeah, they did. They told the whole Nazi thing. Yeah.
Well, I said it. So
Right.
yeah.
I thought their take on me was complete and total bullshit. And I told that hippie that. I said, you filthy, dirty, disgusting degenerate. you talked to that Daryl Ayo fool, that clown. And you didn't come to me. I was like, what kind of pseudo-journalist fool? What a disgusting piece of garbage. And I went on and on like that. And then I actually started typing and I said, well, first play. I didn't actually say any of that to him to his face. But I did say that he looked like the guy from one of the guys from the Chicago 8, which he took as anti-Semitic, which it wasn't meant to be at all. That guy, we broke him. You want to see some childish behavior? Look at his Twitter stream. It is really weird, man. He is. I've dealt with other journalists who I've criticized, who have been. You talk to Richard Johnson, over Bleeding Cool, and he's just kind of smug about everything, and he kind of says things that are frustrating. Like this guy, full on had like a tantrum over being criticized for his article.
You got in his head. You got in his head.
He's still talking about me today. I barely even been on Twitter. He's still talking about me. Why? What did I ever do? Who am I? I'm just EVS.
Just some guy.
I'm just Caesar. I'm just Uncle Ethan, Mark C., if you think of the soul as energy, alchemy begins to make sense.
Pure energy.
Yeah.
The soul is energy.
It is?
Yeah.
Well, non-physical energy. I'm not going to get into it, but yeah.
Can you power an iPod with your soul? Tyler Preston, Martina, your opinions on the cow, Gail Simone. Oh, don't do that. Phil Devereaux, prettier hair, Martina or Mike? That's a good question. I'll throw that over to Critias. Critias?
Hey, I just have an issue with my Gmail real quick. I'm going to get out and jump back in. Give me a second. Okay.
I would say,
yeah.
I would say Edwin has the better hair out of everybody.
Edwin's head of hair is nice. I haven't seen Edwin in here in quite a while, so we have to invite Edwin back in here.
We gotta get his hair back in here.
Yeah, if the soul is energy, then Edwin is what would that make Edwin? Like a bug light? I mean, he glows, he shines.
Yeah.
Everyone's attracted to him.
He's the Aurora Borealis.
The Aurora Borealis.
He's a man in full.
Yeah, we need Edwin back in here. Evil Paradigm, like the 80s future vibe, or I like the 80s future vibe, just backed. That's great. Mawa, thanks for $10. I like Doug. People should put some respect on his name. Martina is a great addition to the show. Maybe you could invite Stick666 once into your show. Those two could have some interesting conversations. Yeah, I would. Sticks is cool. I like him. I
think Pete from Creepy Little Book could have something to say.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Let me run through these again, by the way. Lady Alchemy is now sitting at, by the way, once this thing starts, it can't stop. $8,312 right now.
Nice.
We are well over our goal. Detective Dead is going to do well, even though, as I've said, Doug is doing everything he can to stop the success of Critias. I don't know why. I don't know what his problem is.
That is,
man. I trust you, Doug. I trust you a lot.
I got money in your book, buddy. I put my money where my mouth is.
I did it on purpose because people don't like you, so you put your name there and nobody's gonna invest.
Yeah. Don't you wish everyone hated you as much as me by funding your book? That's good hate.
I like you, Doug. Don't worry about it.
Oh, thanks, my brother. See that? Elliot's got my back.
I got his back. Way back.
Way back out of another state.
Don't call it a do back.
Don't call it a do back. Yeah, so Detective Dead is doing well. There's nothing Doug can do to stop it from succeeding. It's at 45.50 right now.
Nice.
Yeah, sorry. These things are not, Doug, you can't control everything. Black and White remastered, $9,317.
All we need is 683 and we'll be totally funded. Or at least the first goal, yeah.
Black
Hey,
and
it's Mike.
Black and white.
What's going on,
Black
Mike?
and white.
$17. I hear myself. Yeah, look at this, $90,273. I have sold a couple of copies of Cyberfrog Blood Honey. Finally,
Yes.
finally, I do appreciate it.
Hey, guys, now that you say that, I was going to ask you, right?
Yeah.
Would you be willing to do an interview with questions from the chat room?
What's questions from the chat room?
Like, if I ask people to email me some questions, and then one day on your stream, you can ask some of the questions they send me.
Yeah, of course I will. I will submit to inquiry. I have no problem with that.
Yeah. Ethan came on my show. It's the top-rated show. It's got like 3,300 views.
Yeah. By the way, yeah, your channel is getting great.
Yeah, it's doing
absolutely love your channel.
It's good stuff.
Mike S. Miller, welcome. It's nice to have you here, even though you're not really prepared with your camera yet. Aloha to you.
When Martina
who's
comes
got
back,
the better
we have to have a hair contest when Martina comes back. We need to get the rubber band off of Mike so we can do a proper judgment of hair quality.
Yeah, Martina did escape. The chat is like, Martina fled. Yeah, she probably did.
There she is. There she is. She's back.
Sorry about that.
Oh, Martina's back. Martina,
I gotta go wash my hands. No offense, Doug.
You're forgiven. You're forgiven. I absolve you.
Now, people in the chat want to know who has better hair. Is it Mike S. Miller or Martina Markota? Now, that is a matter of opinion. Frankly, Mike, can we see your hair?
He's washing his hands before he touches.
Oh, I thought RT Bear said he was washing his hands.
No, that was Mike.
No, it was Mike.
So before he touches his hair, he's going to wash his hands.
He knew he was gonna have a hair off. He just went to comb it real quick.
You know what was horrifying? His camera moved to the side a little bit, and he's got a whole puddle of ink right next to his, like all over his desk. He's got a rancid puddle of ink right next to his desk. I don't know. It is. It looks like it's been there for a long time. It's like puddle of ink upon puddle of ink. At least that's the glimpse that I caught. When he comes back, I plan on confronting him about that.
Look
at that. Look at that.
That's wasteful.
Camera around his office. It's a mess.
Mike, what the hell is that? What the? Oh my God, it's worse.
He's a hoarder
for the environment.
He's a hoarder.
Mike, what? Mike.
What?
Explain yourself. Let's take this. Hold on. Don't start drawing yet. Why is there ink all piled up on the side of your desk like that? Why do you not wash that off? That drives me insane.
I ain't got time for that.
What are all of the papers all over your desk? Use the camera. Pick the camera up again. Don't be ashamed.
He gave me a tour the other day.
I don't want to dox myself. I probably have something here.
Well, just be careful about doxing yourself. But I mean, I'm not interested in letting people know where you live or anything. But I want them to know how you live, and that's, I wouldn't call that.
This is my safe space. This is my clear area. And then
look at Martina's face as she looks at this right now. Look at Martina's face.
There's also spoilers on the desk.
She is horrified by this. She's horrified by this. And I don't blame her.
Show everyone your shelves, Mike.
My shelves?
Yeah. What's
you're right, I believe.
Oh my God.
That's his storage system.
Damn.
This is whenever I get comp issues of I just stuff them in there because I don't want to deal with them.
This is the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. That's nice. That's nice.
Nice.
This is my round magnetic thing, so I can see who's coming up the street.
Are you serious? Like that's not.
It's a magnet. It's like the ones you put on the back of an RV, so you can see. It's not a magnet. I mean, not magnet. Magnifying thing.
Oh yeah.
Mike, do you live in a tree house? Like. All right.
Hobbit hole.
Yeah, it is. It is. And I'm actually legit worried now. Mike and his family. So let's get back to this. Let's talk about these.
But my hands are clean.
That's True. But Doug, look at Doug's living space, though? You have to admit, Doug, is that mostly because of Mrs. Tenaple, the clean living space? What do you think?
Doug's gone.
Oh, Doug's gone. Oh,
he went to wash his hands.
Doug's environment is immaculate, but covered in a film of disgusting germs.
Yeah. Lady Alchemy, the graphic novel, $8,344.
Nice.
It's unstoppable. She is now at 104% of her $8,000 flexible goal.
It's amazing. It's unreal, actually.
Congratulations.
It is cool. If you would like to send me a pie to thank me, I would understand. What kind of pie would I like?
Lemon meringue. Dude.
I am a really good cook, actually. I have one video that I made so far on YouTube, a cooking video, but I actually can make a pie from scratch. What kind of pie?
I got to think about that. Detective Dead, Crimson Moon. It doesn't matter what Doug does. Critias will not. We will not relent. He is going to put this comic book out. Martina, Doug has some kind of weirdo agenda against Critias here. His name's Antonio Malpica. I don't know why. Antonio lives in Beverly Hills, as you can see, and he put out a comic book. He wants to put out a comic book called Detective Dead Crimson Moon. Doug will not relent, but it doesn't matter because COMICSGATE is going over Doug's head, and they're lending support to Critias.
I appreciate it.
Boiled.
You don't know what happens when we offline. How much messages Doug sent me telling me I'm gonna fail,
threatening you. Are they threats?
Yeah, it's just like you're gonna go nowhere.
Look at this guy totally.
Bigfoot Bill's gonna crush you.
Those were private, and I expect you to conduct yourself like a gentleman. Keep private messages private. That was a little private contest that we had that I was going to destroy him, take him down.
Well, it was. It's not working. All right, it's not working. In the meantime, RT Bear has climbed up to $9,507. He is now less than $500 away from reaching his flexible goal.
We just went up. Thank you so much, everybody.
Yeah, everyone loves RT Bear. RT Bear, probably they love him because RT Bear is harmless. He doesn't try to, hurt Critias.
Yeah,
he doesn't try to hurt Critias.
Yeah, thank you, Art. You're better than Doug, man. I appreciate that.
Now that I'm outed, buddy, I'm coming after you. Get you out of this whole thing.
It's the least we can expect.
Don't start that. Don't lift that rock, man.
I love you, Doug.
My brother.
Yeah. All right. Let me see here. Let's see if we're all caught up on super chats. No, we're not. Mitch and Cecil are good interviewers, says Kaz5166. Peter Mayer, Doug's water bill is 43 cents a month.
That's funny.
Ada BC, $2 towards Mike's intervention. Yeah, somebody's got to do something about Mike's office. Mike, do you need help? Can I send Molly maids over there or anything? I mean, what can we do to help you?
My wife loved that, but I tell her not to clean my room. I hate it when she cleans my room because, this is like chaotic order. I know where everything is.
Yeah, you know where everything is. I totally hear you.
Like Einstein. And then my wife comes in and cleans my room, and I'm like, well, where's my freaking, where's my glasses? And she goes,
yeah, that's exactly what hoarders say, Mike.
Yeah, no, she goes into like robot mode when she cleans. She just cleans. She just puts stuff in places, and she does like whenever I move something, I know exactly where I put it. So.
Like they throw away the Post-it with all your passwords.
I'm that kid who would have taken, like when my mom told me to clean my room, it would like literally take me all day because I would take everything and I'd throw it all in the middle of the room and then I'd organize every single thing so that I knew where everything was. And I just don't have time for that anymore. So. And
I just want to assure everybody too that it's only Mike's office that looks like that. The rest of his house is immaculate.
Yeah, the rest of the house, my wife can clean to her heart's content.
So it's just your living space.
It's just my living space.
Yeah.
Yes.
Messy Mike.
It's messy Mike.
Oh, my organized mind, messy office. That's
just like Einstein.
What would Jordan Peterson say? He wouldn't be happy.
That was just like Einstein.
Azure Hydra, I think he was addressing this to Mike S. Miller, but I'm not sure. For $5, hello, Miss Gorgeous. Here's some coffee. May I treat you to dinner? Perhaps we could end the night converting our potential energy to kinetic energy. And then a little sunglasses.
I'm married, man. Sorry.
Okay. So it's a
Hey,
polite no.
congratulations, you guys. I got a boogie. I'll see you guys later.
All right, man.
Yeah, be safe.
Be good.
See you, Elliot.
See you later.
Mark C, is Detective Dead like a cooler version of Kolchak Night Stalker?
I love that show.
Yeah, me too.
I don't think I've seen that show before.
It gave birth to the
like I'm a young
X-Files.
man. Like I'm not. What am I? 50 years old. I don't remember Kolchak the Night Stalker.
1972. McGinnis or Guinness or whatever his name is, the guy that was the dad in The Christmas Story, played Kolchak.
And
Yes.
Ethan, if you like X-Files, that's where they got the
That's where they got the idea from. Is
Yeah, but I'm fully aware. I am culturally literate. I'm just saying I'm 44 years old, but not everyone is.
Okay.
So Detective Dead. So Kolchak the Night Stalker was basically kind of like an old man fella. Well, he wasn't old. He wasn't old then, but he was just a fella, regular guy, kind of like he was almost like a detective cop.
He was a reporter.
Was he a reporter?
And a skeptic.
Yeah, he was a
And a
reporter.
skeptic.
And he would interact with demons and stuff like that. It was in the 1970s.
Werewolves on a cruise ship.
One movie that did come to mind when I was researching, things that was similar to my comic. I saw a movie called The Shadow.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if you've seen that one. And I saw that and I was like, oh man, that's similar to mine because
Baldwin.
Right.
Yeah, didn't
from
Frank
the
Miller,
radio shows.
didn't Frank Miller direct that, or am I thinking of The Spirit?
Spirit.
That was the Spirit.
The Shadow. He had a fake
Shadow
nose, though.
nose.
The big fake nose.
What evil lurks in the hearts of men.
Yes.
It's not a big fake. It looks exactly like my nose. So, by
sorry.
the way, if I cosplayed the Shadow, I would be perfect. I would be legit. I would look just like the Shadow.
Just put a bandana around to really. It doesn't do any
Around my
favors to
face.
that nose either, right? When you just put it
Yeah.
over the mouth.
Yeah, I just cover the rest of my head. My eyes are already scowly. I already look scary. When you look into my eyes, you're like, oh my God, like what secrets? Like what haunts this man? So if you just cover my happy smile and my bald head with a big hat, I would look just like the Shadow. And I think
So
that's
the Shadow knows, and so does Ethan.
That's correct.
That's your
Radical
tagline.
Comics, let Mike be. He's such a good person. Besides, he knows how to draw awesome sharks. Mike, what the hell? Is Lady Alchemy Martina a magical girl like Bayonetta, says Tyler Preston.
Definitely magical. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Alec Munoz wants to know, are we still doing the holiday special tonight? Yes, we will. We'll do it tonight at 9 with the boys from the High Council. It's going to be a lot of fun. Hope you do show up for that. And with that, I think we're going to end right here. I mean, I don't know how long this went on, but I mean, I know far too much about you guys now, way more than I knew before. And that's the problem with these live streams. We get to know each other and we learn things that we don't like. But I do like getting to know Martina Markota. Welcome to COMICSGATE. Congratulations on a fully funded and overfunded graphic novel. You are. Brad Noble says EVS looks like a fat Mr. Drummond. Oh my God! What?
That's not true.
That is awful. Awful.
Savage.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. Thanks everybody. All the support has been just so fantastic. It's unreal. I still can't believe how kind and generous everybody has been. But I hope to just chat some more because we can talk about a bunch of nerdy, artsy things all the time.
Well, yeah, somebody just says you've been COMICSGATE initiated. I think that's fair to say. Thanks to everyone who showed up in the chat. Thanks to everyone who backed all these great comics, all these great Indiegogo campaigns. As usual, we could not do this. We would be nothing without you. We entirely depend on the support of the community, unlike, Marvel and DC. They can do whatever they want because they are funded by Disney and Warner Brothers. And that's why they can torture you successfully and without consequence. We can't torture you. We're not allowed. And that's why COMICSGATE survives and exists. So thank you to everyone. Thank you, Martina. Thanks, guys. Thanks, chat. And we'll see you again later on. Bye-bye.
Later.